Hey everybody, this is Anjanette from AJ's Personal. How you doing? Um, Welcome back to my subscribers and welcome in to anybody who is new. Sorry, still in my PJs today, and actually, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to get out of them. We have a storm coming. I just got the warning again on my phone. It's been the big talk of everybody around here, all the states. I live in northern Indiana. We're supposed to get maybe up to 2 feet. So, yeah. Even talking of who knows if we're going to be able to get out of here for Christmas. I'm not as worried. My husband he works at the hospital, so that means he always has to get to work no matter what. So he's used to driving in all kinds of snow and yuck. But yeah, we will at least get to my daughter's. That I know we will do. As far as everything else, first Christmas Eve at my brother's house, which I really wanted to be able to go to. If it happens, it happens. Wonderful. If not, I'm not as happy that it's on Christmas Eve, my birthday. Excuse me, Kula, can you decide what you're doing? Let me put you guys on pause and so you don't have to wait around for her to decide. Okay, I am back and she seems settled. So, on with this, I am so sorry. I wanted to do this while my husband is still gone, so we didn't have a lot of in and out in the background that's been happening around lately. Although I just heard something outside. I don't know if it's him or somebody else, so he may be coming in any minute. So just a forewarning in case somebody comes through the door. Yesterday was a rough personal day, so I didn't get as much done as I had planned on. There was some things going on around here. My baby girl still missing her brother. Things have been rough that way, and my husband has been too, a lot. So, yes, we must have some cats outside. We have, for those of you who have not heard of this, we did some donations and things for Meow Mission, and I am still taking, like, if anybody wants to donate cat toys and stuff towards Meow Mission, you can get with me. I can send you patterns, and I can give you my email, or not email, my address, in case you would want to make some and send some to me. I'm going to hopefully make stuff for them throughout the whole entire year next year. They have an event in the spring, I believe one in the summer, and then their big one is in the fall. Or no, spring, the big one in the fall, and then one at Christmas. I think that's what it is. I couldn't get any together for the Christmas one because I didn't know that one was coming up this last year. I had asked for a schedule. She was like, "Oh, this is our big one. That's all we need." And then turned around and asked. She said they were such a big hit. Could you make some for December 4th? And I was like, I put things on hold for Christmas, and I ended up not being able to make any. I felt terrible. I told her I would try, but so many things happened between my health and just backlog on everything that I needed to get done that I just couldn't do it. So, um, yeah, there's that. But anyway, as my husband was coming in, I heard him say hi or something. So I figured there's a cat out there. We have two big, they're shelters for cats. They're made out of like styrofoam, like coolers. I don't know if, but these are huge. So they're not like the regular size of a styrofoam cooler, but I think they're made out of that to help keep the warmth in. And there's hay, I think it's hay that's in there. No, straw, because I thought we needed hay, and they were very adamant that it was straw, and they filled it. And I do believe that if we go back to them, they'll fill it again later. But what they do, it's a catch and release. But it's a catch and release system, but they also have people who host these little I can't think of what they're called now. But basically, we will home the feral cats. I mean, as best as you can. You can't home them, but we give them shelter. Shelters for cats. That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. But they'll give us these shelters. We can put them out there. We just have to, put food and water out for them. And for the longest time, we didn't have any that were coming because once our two fosters came inside, the ones that were hanging around them while they were outside just stopped hanging around. Well, now we've got a couple out there again. We can hear them going in the shelters at night, and the food is going. And I think my husband just saw one outside. So that's what I'm talking about there. But what the mission does is they do catch and release. They come, and when you have a few that you've been feeding and they've been coming on a regular basis and you know that they're coming and around what time they're coming. So basically you're supposed to set the food down at a certain time, pick it up, maybe feed them twice a day. Right now we're just leaving it out there for them because we know that they're not, until we build up the colony was the other word I was looking for, who hosts colonies, until the colony builds up and we have enough, they won't come out again. But what they do is they bring these spring traps, and then for like the whole week before they come to get them, we feed them and we put the food in a little bit farther and a little bit farther into the trap. So then the day before they come to collect them, we don't feed them at all. So they put out like a tuna, a really smelly food that they will want to um, come and get, and then they get in the middle of the traps and they spring it and it comes down, and then they take them to their facility, they keep them overnight there, they take care of them, and then they take them to a vet's office the next morning and they get them neutered. And then they bring them back to where they got them from the next day so that you still, they're still a part of the colony that you're helping take care of, but it cuts down on the repopulation of the cats. And then it also makes it so there aren't as many fights between them outside. And then they start working together as a colony and protecting each other because they're not fighting each other for, ooh, who, the tomcat's fighting for whatever female they can get a hold of, and, the things that they fight about when it comes to that. So it makes them nicer to each other. It may not make them want to come up to people, as much, but still, then if you find that one of them, after they've been neutered and spayed, if you find that they have a medical need or a medical issue, that's like a serious, infection in their eye or something, you see something wrong, you call them, they will come and they will get them again and they will take them in and get them treated. And they, when they take them to get their shots and stuff, or not their shots, when they take them to get neutered, they also get their shots and all the stuff that they need. And they give them a flea dip and all of that to take care of them, which granted they're going to get fleas again while they're out there, but it will help them and get rid of them for then. And hopefully get, the stuff that they use goes around where they are and kills the fleas and insects where they go. So to at least try and help with that kind of issue. So we are, my husband and I are supporting them the best that we can because, of course, we can't afford much. So I'm trying to, throughout the year, I have my Work a Whip Friday. Um, and once I get past this year, one of my goals for next year, which I'll do a goal video, is that, and I talked about it before after the first time that I gave them toys because I didn't have as much made that I would have liked to, is that I'm thinking that for my Work a Whip Friday, it's going to be in a perfect world. Every Friday, I'll be working on a new toy, so at least I'll have a toy a week made. And if depending on what else I'm working on that week, maybe I'll get more than one, but have Fridays to work on toys so I can get at least one or two or however many in a day that I can get done. So that when it comes time that they need toys, I can have a pile already made up. And then also, if I get donations from you guys sent in, I can have enough to go through and I can split them up and have more for their big one in the fall and have, stuff that they can have for the other two as well. And it won't be a big ask, just send it, make them send them to me once a year, send them to me twice a year if you want to help, however often you want to send them. I already have a bag here. Somebody did try to help with the one in December, but it just wasn't enough to give them yet. So I'm holding it over and I'll give it to them in the spring. So, yeah, as soon as the new year starts, it's going to be my new program that I'm going to start working on myself. And then, I don't know, I may try to make some kind of challenge out of it or something to try and help you guys get involved a little bit more. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you would like to see. Would you like me to do a challenge, or would you guys just like me to let you know when the events, remind you every week, of course, when I'm showing mine, and just try to take donations? I can do whichever. I'm not going to have a lot, to give throughout the year, but I could do a challenge for, like something like that and have at least maybe one or two during the year. So let me know what you think. But the reason we are here is for Vlogmas, and like I said, I only wanted to come on for a minute. I didn't get as much done last night as I wanted to on the basket that I was making for my daughter, and I said that was my own fault. But I did get started, and I learned a new technique, and this technique is so cool. Um, I know some of you have probably heard about doing this, and others of you may not. I watched a video by Nikki's homemade. Oh gosh, I follow Nikki for so long I can't think. Nikki's homemade crafts, I believe. Yes, Nikki's homemade crafts, and she showed the technique, and I've seen other people do this. Like Anvy's granny, I think is the first person I ever saw who mentioned this technique. I just I'm used to learning through tutorials from Nikki, so I watched hers, but I did notice there were quite a few out there. And I don't know why. Whenever you use thick yarns, why sometimes when you are making your stuff, you get like a big hole here and there when you got to do two together, but it's not consistent through the whole thing. Anyway, I am using, you got to see this. I didn't realize I had decorated Kahlua with yarn. Now she's going to run off. Um, but I'm using just regular 4-ply yarn, and it called for a size 6, which normally, if to get a size 6, if you have a 4-ply, you need to triple it up. And normally, how it used to be done for everybody, and how I have done in the past, if I needed to do that, you either try, when I've doubled it, I've pulled from both ends so that I had 2 strands, and that is really kind of rough because when you are twisting it off and then pulling it through the center, it gets caught and it's twisted and you have to untwist it and everything. I do know, I believe there's a technique for this where you can double it as well. But if you see here, I have, easier to see out here, I have where this is 2 strands that are looped. At the very, very beginning, I doubled it up and looped it around the hook. Actually, she showed it on a project that she was already making with regular 4-ply, and then she needed a strap on it that was thicker. So she showed how she, looped it over and then just pulled it through and then started making the strap doing this. I needed it from the beginning. So what I did is I made a loop and I tied it together. So you can see here because I needed to make the magic circle. So I looped it and I tied it here. And then that gives you the other string that pulls out, which you can see better here. You've got the string that's coming out of your yarn. And now you probably see why I don't do tutorials. I don't have the set of it for it right right now either, but because I don't know how to talk to teach this stuff yet. That's pulling out of your skein. So when you loop this here, that gives you the 2 strands from the loop, and then you have the 1 running strand that's coming from your skein. So you have 3 strands. And as you crochet, which I will sit here and crochet some of this because I'm just doing singles around now because I'm building up the side. As you crochet, just going to a couple here, so let me get going again. It calls for a K hook, and one of the things that you learn with amigurumi and things that you need to be really tight is sometimes you have a little bit more yarn for the actual hook that you're using, and so it takes a little to get going here pretty quickly. And I just look at a basket like this, like amigurumi, plus it's going to have the amigurumi face on it anyway, and you want it tight. Otherwise, I would have gone up a size and hook. I do believe she put a gauge on the pattern, but I'm just, when it's something like this, I don't follow. If it's a garment, I follow my gauge always. If it's just something like this that doesn't have to be a particular size, and the person I'm giving it to doesn't have, doesn't have to be a certain size in the area, I don't worry about gauge. Okay, so here, I am to the end of my loop here, you see? So what you do, let me straighten that out, is you just take this string here and you pull it through and you make another loop. And then you pull it back like this. And you have 3 strands again. And then you just keep crocheting. You have to stop to pull it through. I've been learning to make pretty decent long loops. At first I started with shorter ones. But since I've been working and, all it is getting the original setup. Once you get the original setup, it's easy peasy. And I had looked at this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times before. And I've actually, the last time I needed to do something like this, I caked it up, or I had 3 different skeins that I was pulling from. Again, I'm not sure how you do it to double it. I know there is a way, but this 3 strand is, I'm like, I'm not going to have to worry anymore when I'm like, I don't have, chunky yarn. As long as I have, or bulky yarn, as long as I have enough skeins of 4-ply, I can make myself a size 6 very easy. And I'm loving it. And it's going really rather quickly. And yeah, I haven't made some bulky items that I've wanted to make because I just don't have the yarn for it. Now, granted, if I wanted to make a bulky garment or something like that, I would just have to go out and buy the bulky yarn, unless there's a great sale on 4-ply and I can get, quite a few skeins of 4. I already have some, and I just need to add like so many more to make it so that I can use it for it. Depending. It can be a great stash user if you want to do something bulky. I've never made a bulky garment before. I'm hoping if I get everything taken care of to be able to get my appendectomy, because I was given a list of stuff I have to do before they even put it into insurance, which kind of has us upset because that's not what the doctor said was going to happen, but it's what his office person is making me do. And I would have thought that if we had those loops to go through, he would have told us that the office person would have been calling us to tell us this is what she needs for us to do. So he had us feeling that, as soon as he gave it to her, it was going to go in to be approved. So we're dealing with all of that kind of stuff now. I've jumped through so many hoops and done so much red tape over the years. It just really bogged me down yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't get stuff done, because I was just way too upset. But anyway, today's a new day. I'm going to get this done. I got the whole bottom done last night before I went to bed. I'm going to be turning on the TV, either catching up on some of my soaps or finish watching The Handmaid's Tale. And I do have to order some charms from Allie's Express today so that I can get them here in time to make Valentine's stitch markers. So I always have to think about that kind of stuff ahead of time. I've already started looking for Easter charms. Couldn't find as many for St. Patrick's Day. So do me a favor and tell me, do you buy charms or stitch markers for St. Patrick's Day, or should I just do Valentine's and Easter and not even worry about St. Patrick's Day? Let me know. I mean, when I first started doing this, I thought I was going to develop more of a niche and not really get into the holidays and stuff. But when I got to thinking about it, when I buy stitch markers, I tend to buy them for the holidays. Plus my favorite things like cats, of course, butterflies, dragonflies. And I do have, and I've shown you guys, I think I showed you my last haul, where I have some dragonflies and um, some different things coming up. I have hearts, heart beads. I just need to get the charms. So, plus I'm trying to find some larger ones for keychains now that I'm making keychains as well. So, I also need to get working on finding where I want to have a blog. But I said I would do that as soon as Christmas was over so that you guys can see my stitch markers easier, and it makes it easier for you to order them. I have another big order to make, which you guys just really warm my heart because one of my friends posted her custom make order that I did for her, and somebody was like, "Ooh, I would like one just an order just like that." And it was a pretty big order. So, and she said, but not until the new year. So I don't have to worry about doing it right now, not until the new year. Um, but things like that just really warm my heart because it it's not being seen well in the group that I have it in. I just think that people, because it's not set up with a like Shopify or something where that, if something happens. But I can tell you this for those of you who may be interested and want to go see them. I always make sure that when I send them out that I have insurance on all of them because I use pirate ship. I don't so that I can save you guys money on postage and I can still get insurance through them just like you can through the postal service. So I always make sure I have insurance, and actually insurance on pirate ship I do believe is cheaper as well than what I pay um, when I was getting postage. So I do everything I can to save money for you guys as far as where shipping is concerned. And I guarantee it myself. So if you happen to get something from me and if it's broke, I'm going to replace it for you at my own cost. So if that helps, I don't know. Let me know. I mean, I know that may not be the best way to do things, but I want to make sure you get what you paid for. I'm not going to have you get something broken and then, if it's because of how it was shipped, well then yeah, I mean, I've got to go to UPS I have to go to USPS and or UPS, however it's sent. I do the cheapest right now. It's usually USPS, but go to them to get reimbursed, if they've sent it and damaged it. But if it's because of how I packaged it or something that I did, I'm going to make sure that you have the product that you want. So that is my guarantee to you guys. I'm going to take care of you. So, so yeah, this is my Vlogmas for today. I also have a square that is almost done. It just has a couple rows left to do, so I'll be finishing that up as well. The squares right now are more of my car project because I'm using a hook that if it gets broke, I can go get another one for $2.99. And by the way, this is my first time using a Yarnology hook like this. I have gotten one before, which I need to find it. I don't remember what size. I think it was a J that I got it in. And this one is an I. I got this for $2.99 the other day. And this has been a really nice hook. I didn't think that I would like them because it's plastic, but this still flies through pretty quickly. I mean, not as good as steel does, but almost. It actually does not catch as much as some of the resin hooks that I have. So I am really liking this. I know I've never done reviews and stuff on here, but because I'm not one of those people who can afford to buy every new thing and do a review. But if you want some time, I will do a review with the different hooks that I have because now I have a couple Yarnology. I have my Prim, which Prim are plastic too, and I really love my Prim hooks. And let me see, I have the Yarnology Prim, I have Susan Bates, I have the regular Susan Bates, and the, no, I'm not going to think of what this is, ergonomic Susan Bates. I have my furls, and I have two, I believe, Omnis that somebody gave me that I have not used yet just because I haven't made something with that size. I've been like, ooh, I need to make something that takes this size because I want to try these out. So, yeah, if you ever want me to review like the hooks that I have, let me know and I'll do that. Or if you want a review of something that you see that I'm using that maybe you've never used, if you want me to talk about it and review it, I will do that. So just let me know if you guys see something and you would like me to talk on it. I will. And with that, I'm going to go. Because like I said, I was going to make this a short one, and now it's already almost a half an hour one because I got off talking about mutilation. So have a great day. We are 4 days away from Christmas. I almost said 3 because I'm so used to 3 days to my birthday and then 4 to Christmas. So I hope you are having a great holiday week. And if for those of you who are still making like I am, I hope that you get your makes done and I will see you later. I love you guys. Remember, you matter. And if you ever need me, I'm here. And you are gorgeous. You're beautiful. You're handsome. And I love every last one of you. I will talk to you later.